Hey, hello everybody on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube Live. Yes, it's correct. I'm going second time live in 2 hours.
Woohoo!
And today I have a wonderful person with me, which is Nihan. Hi, Nihan.
Hello, Troy. Hello, everybody.
Hmm. And thank you so much for being here. And today we are actually going to talk about one of the topics that I'm gonna say like challenged me for a long time, and it took me a while to choose something different and allow myself to choose something different, which is saying no. And that's why I wanted to create a clarity night, and in the hope actually I can actually like share some of the insights that I personally got and some of the tools that I use and actually keep using to not I'm gonna say like to really have my own back, because like one of the
Mm.
things like I personally challenged with, and I would love to know like how was it for you, that I would just say yes to everybody because I care for them and I wouldn't want to upset them, or I would have like a point of view that, oh, like what if I say no, that means like I am going to miss something out. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not the only one. Okay, that just the missing something out piece. Thank you so much. This class had two taglines, and the first one was, "Are you saying yes when you actually would like to say no?"
Hmm.
And you described it so well. Thank you. I also, it's been a long going journey, and I find myself struggling daily by wanting to say yes because I want to please someone. I want to care for them. I want what they're asking to become a reality. And oftentimes I catch myself wanting to say yes or actually saying yes when I know it's not going to create greater, when I know it will actually stretch me thin. Maybe I will not be happy. Maybe I will show up resentfully. It's
Hmm.
and to show up resentfully or not is a choice, right? But I'm already able to perceive, like, oh, Nihan, okay, girl, if we say yes to this is not, but I want to please you so much in that moment, I'll go say yes.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
and actually it's I'm very grateful that we're having this conversation because it's just giving me like more insights. It's not like that's one of the parts, like actually saying like yes when you really want to say no, or actually like when you actually have the awareness, it's going to create greater to say no.
Mm.
And one of the things like I grow up with, like when I say no to someone, they would actually go into all of these feelings like being upset, or they actually would separate from me and they would make it personal instead of looking from the point of view, oh, actually, is it going to create greater if this person says no, or actually if I ask this to somebody else? And in that case, they had a point of view that I should deliver, so that actually is a projection, like they had a projection of me, like I should deliver what they decided they want me to deliver. And when I would actually choose something different, they would go into a reaction, or they would actually choose to be upset. And for me to feel connected to them, or for them to feel connected to me, I will go into all of these need of reactive realities, which is trying to take care of them, take that away, and in the same time, like what you were describing beautifully, then like I would become like thin, and it wouldn't allow me to be present, and actually wouldn't allow me to put my energy into things that I really wanted to put my energy, and I knew that really required my energy to grow. And like for me, I'm just acknowledging now, like the more that we talk, like it's just so much to explore. I'm like, whoa, this is gonna be big.
Wow. Thank you so much. You know, as we talk, what I'm
Oh,
realizing.
actually, your microphone is just scratching to your shirt. I just want
Oh,
to.
yeah. Sorry. I do that a lot. Sorry. um, I'm realizing when I'm aware that a no will create greater, but I'm saying yes to avoid
Mm,
certain reaction, to avoid something, I'm realizing I am creating more separation. I'm separating from myself, and eventually I'm separating from the other person as well.
mm,
Trying to fulfill my yes is actually putting me in this space where I'm not being myself. I'm
mm,
feeling trapped. Eventually, and I know this, I can perceive like a domino effect. I say yes, and then like the dominoes move in a certain direction, and I'm like, here we go.
mm.
So, and
Yeah,
I
and
also,
actually,
yeah.
yeah, and it's like what you said is huge, and I get like we will be going deeper in
Yeah.
these areas, like especially like in the class, and that's why I wanted to do the class to like be
Mhm.
able to like look at all of these areas, like dive deep into it because it's like it looks linear. It's like, oh, like why can I just say no? Like it's like, oh, like and it sounds or it can be like, oh, like why you just don't say it, but it's actually not that. Like there's like a whole universe behind that, and like for me that would be exactly the same. Like I would actually say yes, and then I wouldn't be able to deliver that yes, and then like I would be. And like one of the things like I personally don't enjoy, like if I say to someone I'm gonna do something, not doing that,
Yeah.
because that actually creates a separation between myself, as you said,
Mhm.
like the first of the thing, like it actually creates a separation between me, because then I go, oh, like I said yes, and I should have been able to do this, but actually, like I wouldn't be able to do that because my body was just like, hey, like we have a lot of going on already. Like we cannot like actually do this. We require some rest. But I was like, no, like we have to keep doing it, or like I have to finish this up instead of really getting present with where I am, and instead of going into the need of reactive reality, and that is a need of reactive reality when somebody asks you something, if you're automatically jumping on without allowing you to take some space and just going,
Mhm.
hey, like, is this gonna work? Like, if I actually say yes to this, what will my life be like in 5, 10, 15 years? And if I say no to this, what will my life be like in 5, 10, 15 years?
Mm.
And allowing yourself to have that space, and instead of choosing from that need of reactive reality, which is that what you choose so other people can feel connected to you, and I'm gonna say like the level of abuse in our world regarding to this, like I know when I was growing up, and this have been done to a lot of people that was around me, like even if you think for a nanosecond when somebody asks something, is like, oh, like are you doubting me? Like what is that? Like why you're taking that space? And that's why like one of the reasons that I wanted to create this clarity tonight, to clear all of
Mm.
these point of views, these decisions, and actually starting to acknowledge like how much we have been abused, and how much that we haven't given choice. Like how many people that gives you choice, like saying, hey, like, and ask you a question, not from a projection, but a totally invitation to a possibility of something greater.
Mm.
Hmm.
So I'm getting that energy. And like you mentioned, I grew up similarly. When I said no, people would go into reaction and there would be consequences, real life consequences of my saying no or hesitating. So sometimes I find myself living, trying to avoid those
Mm.
reactions in me and in other people. And what you said, when you have people around you who actually give you choice, when they ask you, will you do this or would you like to go over there, do something together, when they're actually asking. And that was so new to me a few years ago when that first happened, let's say. And I remember someone asking me and me being like, oh, you don't like me because you're actually asking. Like, you're not like expecting me, but you're actually asking, you're giving me choice. And then I realized, oh, this is crazy because this is so beautiful. This is such a beautiful energy that I actually can say no, I can say yes, and this person's not going to react to me. And they're actually curious. And then this, like
Mm.
a level of relaxation that was so uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, and it is uncomfortable, and actually, and it's a very different space. Like when you actually do have someone that's around you that doesn't do projections, expectations, separations, and judgments, and yeah, like it's just like so much to explore. It's so funny because like before I come on this live, like I was like, what are we going to talk about on this live, or like what we are going to talk about in this class? Like I'm not sure what we'll be exploring. And like that's one of the things that the beauty of Access Consciousness, like every person that comes to a class, like every time someone asks a question, the whole consciousness on the planet change because they actually have their own awareness that adds to it, that makes it greater, that actually open new possibilities and open new doors. So I'm just super excited about this class. And like if you are out there and you find yourself in places that you actually say yes to things, like when you really want to say no, and this can be a person, and actually this could be so much more. Like it could be the creations in your life, like how many creations that shows up and you're like, oh, like I want to do all of them. And when you put your energy into all of them, it may not be creating what you would like to create. Instead of actually going, hey, I'm actually going to say no to these things, but not from a conclusion or not from a definition, but from a choice that will allow you to say yes to things that you are looking to grow and have more of in your life. It's a huge topic, and I'm just super excited to see like what people will come up with and like what their questions will be and where we'll be exploring this. And I would say like this class will be one of the classes, like if you see this and go, yeah, I require that one, for that would be one of the calls that you just jump on and explore. And that's where I am right now. I'm like, let's explore, let's see what's possible in this area and what we can change so we have the choice to say no.
Hmm.
Hmm. Anything else that you would love to add, Nihan, before we finish it up?
I'd like to acknowledge what a clarity night can create. Saying no has been a topic that has been explored since the 80s. I myself have been reading self-growth, self-help books about saying no since the 90s, since I was a
Hmm.
teenager, a kid even. And what I love about Access Consciousness tools, and specifically having a clarity night on this topic, is like what we mentioned. When somebody asks you something, offers you something, or when you're engaging with a creation, what are the things that are coming up? And now imagine having a space, a class where we come in and we actually clear those reactions and explore and create that space.
Hmm. And
I
get
know that
tools.
I walk out a different person.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And getting the tools so you can actually change this areas of your life, and actually being in allowance of you and not make you wrong for whatever you choose.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I would like that very much.
Too. Thank you so much for being here with me, willing to invite people to a different possibility on the world. And I'm so grateful for you. And thanks so much for everybody that's watching this now or in the future. I hope this live contribute to you in some way, somehow. And if you'd like to explore this further, we'll be popping the link into the comments. And it's actually only $50 for a 2 hours clarity night, and the country price applies. So my personal point of view, that's a great deal. So come join us and let's explore what is possible in this area.
Thank you. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Thank you so much, Nian. And bye, everyone. Wishing you all beautiful day, beautiful night, or beautiful afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world. Bye.